I recently had quite a surprise. I was hosting a conference, a financial planners conference, and one of the speakers, a financial planner himself, talked to the others about listening with a quiet mind. Now, I often talk about listening without ego and learning to empty your mind so that you can hear what's being said. But I really liked his phrasing, listen with a quiet mind. We have a massive narrative going on in our heads nowadays. We're constantly, while somebody is talking to us, thinking about all the things we could be doing, or all the things they might be thinking while they're telling us that, or do they think I'm stupid? Do they think this? Oh, in a minute I've got to put my tea on, or I'm feeling quite... We have this voice all of the time. Or maybe we're just spending our time thinking about what we've got to say next. What if they want a response from me? I don't want there to be an awkward silence at the end of this conversation. So I ask people, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good a listener are you? And sometimes people give themselves quite a high score, maybe a 7 or an 8. But then they add a caveat. They say, well, of course, it depends on how boring the person is that's talking. Can I suggest that if it depends on how boring the person is when they're talking, then it's not that you're a good listener, it's whether they're a good talker. Which is where this phrase, listening with a quiet mind, comes in. So I recently had an entire day of meetings with people where I was trying to find out about the culture of an organization. I had to meet with 6 people for about an hour and a half. Now, as we all know, I'm a good talker. Listening can be hard work sometimes, but I had this phrase going on in my head. Listen with a quiet mind. Listen with a quiet mind. And gradually, all that narrative in my head was turned down. And I was really able to hear what the people had to say to me. And it didn't matter if there was a silence at the end of what they said. It didn't matter if I just said, that's interesting. I didn't have to comment. But it did mean I was able to have an impact on them later because I'd listened with a quiet mind.